This illustrated Bible was likely produced in France in the early 13th century for one of the Capetian kings.
So they picked Bible stories out that had to do with the relationship between a ruler and his people and God, and they put those in pictures. And so one column is like the biblical story, and the other column is a contemporary kind of version of it, or an illustration of how it would look. And contemporary being 1220.
It's one of 10 religious books currently on display on the 5th floor of the Maag Library at YSU. It represents just a small sampling of the collection maintained by the university's Archives and Special Collections Department.
These are part of the university photograph collection.
Cassie Nesper is the curator.
These are from the Dana School of Music. We take care of the rare books that are part of the library, the things that can't be checked out to students, that they're old, they are unique in some way, or particularly valuable if they're a first edition or a signed copy of something.
They also collect the university archives, including books written by faculty, department papers, and old issues of the university's newspaper, The Jam Bar.
Most of our stuff here in archives is designed to promote the history of the university. We're kind of like grandma's attic.
Brian Brennan has been in the archives department for 31 years.
And I've seen the university grow immensely. This is the Sanborn fire maps. They were used by insurance companies for the purpose of underwriting insurance policies. But what it is, they're plot maps of the city of Youngstown.
They're also a reminder of how YSU has changed over the years.
Here we have, this is the university. And this is Kilcawley Center, the student union, and the Kilcawley dorm. And what's interesting about this is all at Kilcawley. Today, Kilcawley extends to about here.
We also provide access to all those materials. If somebody comes in and they're looking up the history of something that's related to YSU, or they need to find facts about what the university was doing or who was doing it, we have that kind of information and we help them find it.
To increase accessibility, the department also spends a lot of time scanning and digitizing the collection.
As of right now, we have over 11,149 digital files online, which I was told we were the second largest digital repository in the state of Ohio, just behind OSU, so I think that's pretty impressive.
Lisa Garfoli says with a few exceptions, the digital collection is open to the public at their website.
I'll upload the jam bars as they come out. We actually have the whole collection online from 1931 to present.
One of the ways they help preserve the books is by storing them in this room with UV blocking film on the windows.
The paper was handmade. They took rags and cotton, scrap cotton, and they would press it together and make the paper, or the covers were usually made out of a vellum material, which is actually skin from a sheep.
But that's not to say they're not well made. In fact, most of the books are in very good condition for their age.
Our oldest book dates back to the late 1500s, and the pages are almost as good as new.
Brennan says the archives serve an important function in the community because YSU is such an integral part of its structure.
We're a piece of that whole picture, and that's where we contribute to it, and that's why we're necessary.
And Nesper says it's important to preserve the actual materials because unlike the digital files, in many cases, the books themselves tell a story.
I found the pansy pressed in one of those pages, and immediately on opening that, I felt like, oh, wow, somebody, a real person, owned this book, and there was a reason that that little pansy, that particular pansy was pressed into that book on that page. It was meaningful to that person, and it's that personal connection then that you can pass down.